Hello, this is the Daily Forex Report for September 20th. We are looking at the US Japanese yen pair first. This pair closed down, is moving sideways overall, biased to sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 86.20, possibly as low as 84.89. Look for some resistance around 86.00 and look for some support around 85.25. Okay, now looking at the Euro-USD pair, this particular pair created an inside bar, closed even, starting to move sideways, biased to sideways, did create a doji bar, so look for a potential reversal. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. Look for it to potentially go as high as 131.99, possibly as low as 129.51. Look for some resistance around 131.60 and look for some support around 130.15. Now the pound US dollar pair, this pair moved lower, gapped up, moved in that direction, definitely filled the gap fairly quick from Friday. It is starting to move sideways, biased to sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 157.29, possibly as low as 154.44. Look for some resistance around 156.75 and look for some support around 155.25. Now the US Swiss, this particular pair closed lower. It retraced its gap as well. Look for this pair to continue moving sideways, bias sideways. Look for it to possibly go as high as 101.77, possibly as low as 0.9961. Look for some resistance around 10100 and look for some support around 0.9995. Okay, well, as far as news analysis go, we have the consumer price index for the Canadian dollar being released at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus on that is that it has moved from 1.8% to 1.9%. We also have the U.S. releasing their FOMC announcement at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Consensus on that is that they're going to hold rates at 0.25%. Now, the market most likely will go sideways during the next several hours. So if you want to drop down to the hour time frame, and you can see it's already started, and basically use a band system to go in the market and trade counter trend, you could absolutely do that and basically look for it to bounce back and forth prior to the news announcement. It's definitely a good play. Now, as far as plays on the hour time frame, we do have an inside bar. Look for it to break out to the downside. We do have some other levels of support you need to be concerned with. Some are resistance, some are support. But basically, if we look to break out here at 130.19, look for it to come on down. Our first level at 129.75, then at 129.55, and then finally at 129.17. Look to exit. Basically, we have about 44 pips, then about 65 pips, and then right around 100, 103. So this could turn into a very strong move. Just have to look for it to happen. Basically, during this area, most likely it will come down, break out, and then reverse somewhere in this area. We do have an area here of about 25 pips of previous support, so I can see it coming down and going through there. There's the potential, however, for it to come on down. Now, also the pound US dollar pair, it has created a swing trade opportunity. We do have the potential for it moving to the downside. And basically, if we get a break there, we have another area of resistance that's real close to it. So your breakout area would be right in this area, and then look for it to come down. The next area you need to look for, basically we have resistance, resistance, and resistance. So we have three areas of resistance, and I do believe if we get a break to the downside, it will come through those 2 points. Basically down to about 47.50 pips. Basically, you could look to get 50 pips off this move to the downside. I do believe it will happen. We went through that area pretty quick, once, twice, 3 times, 4. You can go back in time and look how many times we've gone through it pretty quick. Well, that about wraps us up for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.